Last time on Let's Play Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
Andreda, enough! Looks like everyone's here now.
However, currently the network is down. 7 days ago, we discovered that all Aurora units were infected with an unknown virus.
Unit 242 was the first AU to receive the vaccine. We were able to completely purge the virus. 4 months ago, the G.F.S Valhalla went missing while on a training mission in the Klar Nebula. The ship's logs revealed that they were attacked by a space pirate raiding vessel.
That never would have happened if I'd been there.
Then it's a shame you weren't. The pirates boarded the Valhalla and gained access to the ship's Aurora unit, 313. This is how they were able to hack into the network and plant the virus. But we're still vulnerable. If the pirates decide to launch a major offensive, we'd be hard-pressed to defend ourselves.
Condition red. All personnel to combat-ready stations. Repeat. Condition red.
Sir, a space pirate attack fleet has just warped out of some sort of wormhole. They're also heading for Sector 0, the planet's home base.
No, they're targeting the planetary defense system. Get down to the planet and aid the ground troops. Stop those pirates from disabling the defense system. Go! Samus, get to your ship. We need you down on the planet. Until we get the fleet in formation.
Oh, no time for that. Panic times. Okay, this chick G.F.S is going to die. You need to very quickly close the shutters and he will not get sucked out. And you get a friend voucher for your troubles right there. Right on cue. More space pirates, including a slightly newer model. So we want to get down here. Come on, no, you won't hit around. You're not the one who's got the energy cell. You are the one who has the energy cell, so we'll kill you. I might as well attack you while you're at it. Right. So when you do that, you need to actually physically move the Wii remote and twist it so you put the energy cell in. And now we have the hardest power-up in the entire game to obtain. We have this energy tank right here. I'm really not quite sure how we're going to get it. Well, Samus, you've had many missions over many different planets, but I think this one might be a bit too far. We're going to get sucked out into space. Wow, that was extremely lucky. A bit contrived, I must say, but oh well. Armor suit upgrade acquired. Missile launcher online. We're too late. He's dead.
Hello, Gen A person here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. We're just about to leave this save station as we're on the way back to our ship to take care of the ground troops, so let's go and do just that. Now, there was a GF troop we could have saved here. I should probably make you notice the fact that this is actually a slightly different save file to the one end of the last part on, because I actually have the logbook scans that I missed out on previously, if we go into the logbook. So, with regards to stuff we have in the Galactic Federation, we have the Fleet Admiral Dane scan that we didn't get the previous time, and we also in, where is it, research I believe, yeah, we have the bomb slot. So we have both of those particular logbook entries. So with that in mind, I think we need to go and leave this area and proceed onwards to the planet below. And there's Samus's ship, so let's go and get into it. Did you really think it was going to be that easy? Of course not. We have our first boss battle in the game. This is the Berserker Lord. Phase-out plating on its head can only be destroyed by projectiles it fires. Berserker Lords are highly resistant to damage. Their shoulders are the only unprotected area, vulnerable to standard weapon fire. Their main defense lies in their head-mounted phase-out plating, which can only be destroyed by the projectiles it fires. Berserker Lords are a desperate measure, designed to exploit Phazon as much as possible. The few Berserker Knights that have survived the highest level of corruption are promoted to Lord status. Lords are distinguishable by their ornate phase-out plating, and the phase-out reserves they carry on their backs. So, this is the first major boss battle in the game, and it is one you have to actually manually aim with, because although you can lock onto it, you lock onto the main weak point, but it's actually where you need to fire on the shoulder pads, which is where it actually damages the boss. So this is quite simple. You use charge shots on these portions here. It's a relatively simple boss because it's the first one of the game, but once you destroy those, now you need to drop some energy, which should help. Then now you need to wait for it to fire a purple beam and then shoot that straight back at it. But not like that. Anyway, it's going to regenerate its plates after a while. And then it'll start spewing lots of acid around. Fortunately, we managed to disrupt its attacks, which is always a good time to be able to hit the boss in. Now we've done that again, let's wait for it. Now, watch out, he does have a second attack, which is a slight laser blast forward, so you need to be able to watch out for that, like that. So it can be a bit of a fake out. Fortunately, we managed to hit them twice there. We need one more hit, I believe, to actually break open that top part, but that will be when we can really do some damage to this boss. So yeah, not really much to say because it's as soon as you get to that last part. Okay, now we've done this part, so is as soon as you get one of these things open, dodge the fireball. There we go. Right, now its head's open. You can use missiles here if you want, but it's hard to get a good shot on him. So use the missiles wisely, I would say. Also, yeah, the shockwave attack, if you use shockwaves, jump over it using the space jump. Prime series is notorious for having lots of shockwave bosses in their series. I think this is the third game now in a row where there's a boss that has a shockwave attack, often associated with large space pirates. Funny how that happens, really. Right, so we're getting quite a bit down now. And that's the Berserker Lord defeated. That was an epic death sequence for the first boss of the game. And there's a nunchuck failure, because of course there is. So it was so epic the nunchuck failed. But yeah, so after that, I'm sure that we won't be seeing any Berserker Lords anytime soon. Not after a death sequence like that. Because how can you top that? So anyway, Samus's ship is back here now. And it's a good time as any to scan it for the logbook. Hunter class gunship. Entering the ship will allow you to recharge, reload, and save. Based on the previous version, the new Hunter class gunship is a fusion of Federation and Chozo technology. Designed by Samus Aran, this one-of-a-kind vessel was custom built at the Federation shipyard of Alias 3. It is equipped with a powerful Chozo biotech computer that can interface with Aran via command visor units. The ship contains a mobile energy recharge system, microfactory is designed to produce ammunition and an advanced medical bay. You also want to scan this down here. These are landing beacons. These beacons mark locations where your ship can land. That's new. Landing beacons will appear only in locations where your ship can land. Automated sensors detect whether hostiles or obstructions are nearby, and the beacons will retract until the area is free of all hazards. When the beacons are extended and blinking, you may use the command visors to summon your ship. Interesting. They talk about multiple landing places, a command visor. Something big must have happened to the ship in this game, yeah, and it has. This ship is much more involved in this adventure than previous ones, and we'll be getting to just why in time. For now though, let's leave the G.F.S Olympus and return back to the planet Norion. I'm not going to save because I do need to check recording quality. We've had a few technical issues in the opening parts, so I want to make sure this is running smoothly. So when you're in the ship, you need to press the button here, and that will open up a map. Now we can see Norion the planet, and we have a location to go to, the docking hub Alpha. So let's go there.
Our situation doesn't look good. The pirate attack has knocked out our generators and disabled the planetary defense system. This cannon was our only weapon capable of taking out orbiting ships. We need you and the other hunters to get the generators back online and restore power to the cannon so we can repulse this assault. I'm uploading the generator coordinates to you now. Good hunting.
Welcome to planet Norion. So this is the first major land of the area, and you'd probably think, given previous Metroid games, that this is where the entire planet we're going to be on for the entire game. That's not quite the case here. We'll get to it in time. I want to make note of something behind here. We can't do anything about this, but you do want to remember that this is there. For example, this part here. You can't use this with current suit upgrades, but if you do manage to do so, there is a missile expansion on the other side. Missile expansions are the most common form of upgrade, and we will be finding plenty in the process, though not immediately. This here is a Hydra multi-turret, which has 2 rail cannons ready. And this here is a door. Security system engaged. Door locks are now active. Destroy all locks to open door. So that's pretty simple to do. Proceed onwards. And then we've got some Galactic Federation lore in here. Planet Norion. Though located on the fringe of the Federation, the planet Norion is of great importance. The military maintains a strong presence in the sector, and the base of Norion is often the first line of defense against enemies that operate outside of GF space. Originally a barren orb incapable of sustaining life, a sophisticated terraforming project designed by Aurora Unit 486 has turned Norion into a hardy forest world. And we have something in here as well. What's this? Grapple lasso. Right, let's go and pick this up. Armor suit upgrade acquired. Grapple lasso online. Lock onto grapple beam points and cast nunchuck. Grapple points and cast nunchuck forward to fire. Pull nunchuck back quickly to grapple. So yeah, we have a new upgrade that actually makes use of the nunchuck's motion sensors, something that we didn't really need to do in Prime 1 and Prime 2 when they were adapted, because obviously they were made for GameCube, but this being built for the Wii takes advantage of the fact that nunchucks have a sensor too. So we want to proceed onwards with a closed door here. Elevator systems online. Direct interaction required to initiate the elevator operation. And we have something here. This is the control terminal operates nearby doors. Use terminals to gain access to the elevator. So what we want to do is grab this. Pull, twist, push, push. If not get this to work on camera, sometimes I'm doing it fine off camera sometimes, but oh well. So here's a few things that I didn't scan previously. Lifts when they are active. So let's go up here. And as we're doing so, I want to address the elephant in the room. Yes, the sheer amount of motion controls and gimmicks in this game. I decided it was made for the Wii, and so I guess they put a lot of things like that in there, but that's the issue. Incidents like this were probably why motion controls didn't take off and become the next big thing in gaming. Too many developers were shoehorning motion controls in where they didn't need to be, just for the point of selling the games, and I guess that was part of the problem with AAA games in a way. That was how they were generally built. But in this game, you have the really good pointer controls, which are good use, but then you also have gimmicky stuff like this grapple lasso here. I didn't scan that properly. That was supposed to be a logbook entry. Whoops. Oh well, it's not the only time we can get those. There's multiple occasions we can get those, but let's try and scan this guy here. Visor is negative. Target has suffered numerous energy burns. Energy source, Phazon. Security access panel engaged. Hinges may appear fragile and may break if pulled hard enough. Object scan complete. Vent chamber hatch is locked. Use manual override to open hatch. Can you hear that? If you hear a whirring noise, that means a power-up is nearby. Remember that for future reference. Circuit board damage. Welding repairs necessary to restore door operations. Well, hopefully someone else can do that for us. Scan indicates target has suffered severe blast trauma. Scorch energy grenade. Subject is flatlined. Cause of death, heart failure due to extreme cranial trauma. Target is deceased. Appears to have suffered fatal wounds from friendly fire. Ouch. System analysis complete. Power conduit C is inactive. Start generator to charge conduit. Oh, we got the air mines back again. Let's destroy these. Also, while we're back here, we do need to rip off this part here. And then we scan this to the security system is in effect. So we need to eliminate enemy presence to restore panel operations. Right, now we know that. Let's proceed onwards. Blast door is made of pure Jovian steel. Controls offline. Impervious to your weaponry. System analysis complete. Power conduit A is inactive. Start generator to charge conduits. So we've got a lot of stuff we need for the generator here, like there's power conduit B. So this is obviously related to the power up in the area. We have more aero mines. Come on. Okay. I think now all the enemies are destroyed. I think we can actually do some. Yes. Scanning this now reveals it is a hand symbol. And now we need to go up and press this button here. That will unveil the hatch. So now to transform to a morph ball. Go down into here. Now we have a morph ball puzzle. What you want to do here is bomb. That will open some areas. And then that will lift us up this way. Be careful here, the nunchuck could fail any time. Know that from experience. Right, let's go down this way. And now these convenient air jacks will allow us to go through, but we also have an enemy here. Unfortunately, we cannot scan it in multiple mode. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do so soon enough, but it's sort of a security measure, as it were. So it's quite difficult to get through here as things stand. And now, but we have managed to do so, and there's our prize. It's a missile expansion. If we actually get to it. There we go, our first missile expansion in the game. Let's roll down this way, and now we can get back out of here again. Pretty simple, really. So let's proceed onwards. In order to get through this point, we will need to use the grapple lasso. And we will need to do so 3 times. I'm doing it quite efficiently there, but you need to really tug hard at the grapple lasso in order for it to work. Control tower doors are locked shut until all generators can be brought back online. I'm going to go through this tunnel here to show you a quicker view of what I mean, but this is our ultimate objective, to get through this particular door. So we need to shut down all 3 generators in order to get through. So let's proceed onwards. While we're at it, we might try and get some health refills, as it were. But it's not going to be relevant because we have the second hardest energy tank in the entire game to get. Okay, that's not really funny anymore. Yeah, it's another unavoidable energy tank. You have to get this one, so let's get it. Okay, so roll through this at the right points, because otherwise you'll get shoved off and have to do that part all over again. My first playthrough, I did have to do that multiple times. So let's proceed through this direction. And some Galactic Federation troopers have been blown open because there's some space pirates in the way, because of course there are. We'll destroy some of these, and then look to your right, as there is a door of importance here. This is a red blast shield, which is invulnerable to both weapon systems. Explosive damage may break it. Red blast shields contain high amounts of brimstone within their metals, and are easily damaged by explosive blasts. Once shattered, the blast shield will remain destroyed. Let's do just that then. And inside, we have a map station. So here is the map of Norion. We have the route here to getting generator A back online. That's where we're going right now. We also have this way goes to generator B, and then this way it goes to generator C. But there seems to be a large shaft beneath that one. This planet seems a bit small, doesn't it? So maybe there's another area to Norion. Well, yeah, it is quite small, and there's a reason for that. Before we find out that reason though, let's scan these logs. Galactic Federation data file on Hunter Gore. Subject is a veteran of the Liberation War of Rotan and 7. Only 6% of the subject's birth body remains. The rest is state-of-the-art cyberware. Despite his career and heavy cybernetic modification, subject is known for its high level of empathy and compassion. Gore is rather gentle and approaches situations logically, but is not the most skilled of fighters. Intel suggests he even has a sense of humour. Subject has often championed the weak, poor and downtrodden, working for free or giving bounty money earned to the victims of his targets. Subject can merge his cybernetic body into larger mechanisms, including gunships and fighter craft. This merging will alter Gore's personality, and he will become incredibly aggressive and violent. Data indicates a high proficiency within computer infiltration and manipulation. High level of mechanical empathy with artificial intelligence. Whenever we're playing here. Galactic Federation data file on Hunter Rundus. Subject is a native of Phrygus, a moon of planet Bez 3, known primarily for ice mining. The efficiency and ability to manipulate and generate ice has come in handy in the subject's career as a bounty hunter. Intel suggests that he enjoys hunting, to the point where he keeps trophies from all the targets he successfully captured or killed in his career. Subject is proud, cocky and arrogant, and considers himself a rival in his field. Rundus is my favourite of the 3 hunters introduced in this game, so much more that I even went under the name of Rundus342 on internet forums, especially on a Metroid fan site. And then I was kind of involved in some incidents that eventually got that fan site's forum deleted and closed down, so whoops. Anyway, let's scan this here. Galactic Federation data file on Hunter Gandrada. Subject homeworld unknown. Possesses metamorphic ability similar to the biomorphs of Jovia 12. Can assume the form of abilities of most living things, including bioforms considerably larger than the subject. Scans are unable to determine subject's age, but psychic eval suggests a high degree of youthfulness. Intel suggests that bounty hunting is akin to a sport for her, one she enjoys considerably. Subject perceives the veteran hunter Samus Aran as her chief rival, a rival she intends to surpass as soon as possible. Metamorphical. Gandrada is my second favourite hunter of the 3. Gore is my least favourite, hunter Rundus being the best. So, after we found a bit more about the hunters, let's proceed onwards. Now we want to go around this way, and as we try to go down this way, it seems we're a problem. Debris is blocking the hall. A strong blast could probably destroy the obstructions. So we need to do this now. Go round the corner, and we're going to get more blockage. And in the end we have a new enemy here. This is a jump mine. Anti-personnel unit. Rises in air and explodes once engaged. The jump mine was developed by the space pirates as a cheap alternative to an armed trooper. The jump mine scans its surroundings until it detects an enemy target. It then triggers a small thruster jumping a set distance in the air. Once launched, its weapon pod is engaged, saturating the local area of fire. It explodes afterwards to prevent use by enemy forces. These guys are relatively simple, but you just need to scan them, so watch out for the flame jet here that can damage you like it has done a few times here. We've got more jump mines. And then you do need to use missiles to proceed because we have another blast shield. So let's open this and proceed onwards to this rather large open area. And we'll be ambushed by some space pirates, including 2 new ones here. These are Pirate Troopers, battle ready and vicious, crudely enhanced by Phazon. The space pirates military forces continue to use Phazon, including a new Phazon enhancement system. Basic armament includes an assault rifle and energy scythe, both powered by Phazon. EMP grenades are often employed against power armoured foes. A new dash jet system provides increased mobility. So let's try and take these things out then. They're going to be a bit harder than the previous ones, but something we have to deal with. These are standard pirate militias here. Seen these guys before. And there's something we need to look at here. This is the Space Pirate ATC, well armoured transport. Forward vent is vulnerable. The Space Pirate Armoured Tactical Carrier ATC is surprisingly well built and armoured. A forward mounted heat vent is its only vulnerable spot. Tri-beam cannons help the unit deal out damage while on missions. Designed for rapid transit to and from the hot zones, the unit is not designed for long-term engagements. It has a relatively small fuel supply, a sacrifice made for heavier armament and armour. We're going to let that open some stuff here because there's a new enemy we need to scan. Shield Pirate Militia. Battle shield deflects attacks but can be pulled off with a grapple beam. Some members of the Space Pirate Militia have been granted use of regular army trooper equipment. This unit has been given the portable battle shield. Its portability is weakness, however. Remove it from the pirate's grip to eliminate its primary defense system. The shield is also susceptible to Phazon based attacks. So yep, we actually have a grapple lasso enemy that we need to use. Pull the shield off and it's vulnerable and be defeated by a charge shot. Like any other target in this show can be. You need to make sure that the shield goes off first. This is very important to be able to take these pirates out. Now we have a returning enemy from the previous games. Our good old friend the Flying Pirates, although they do have a new name in this game. These are Aero Troopers. Jetpack provides aerial mobility. Homing attacks recommended. Aero Troopers are dangerous foes, but their lack of armour leaves them vulnerable to explosive blasts. A weakness also lies in the jetpack. Igniting it will also allow the pack to be separated from the pilot. They choose twin remote attack pods to engage targets. The attack pods are capable of using a particle cannon or a helix missile pod. They can tap their phase and power unit to warp from point to points. Right, so use missiles on these guys, because you get the homing properties if you do so. Though you also can use charge shots if you time them right. When you defeat them, they will try and dive bomb you. Watch out for that attack. So returning enemy type, so obviously it's going to have the same behaviours as you might be used for previous games. And after you destroy that, you're going to actually have to face the ATC itself. We've already scanned it, so I need to go over that again. Right, these can be very annoying enemies by the way, because you're going to attack them from the front, so make sure that you are locked on to the front or manually aim to the front. Yeah, a lot of enemies in Metroid Prime have very specific weak points that need to take advantage of the actual pointing manoeuvres in order to be able to defeat them, which is pretty good game design really. Although, it does mean it can be a bit awkward sometimes. Yeah, I suppose it's a really good game design if you're a fan of the Wii remote controls.
I just received word that the Federation is allowing all bounty hunters to use ship command devices. You should now be able to remotely command your ship and land it here. Don't forget to perform suit maintenance and data backup if you need. Generator A is just through those doors. While you head that way, I'll activate the generator on the west side. Between the two of us, this should be a breeze.
Right, this is so awesome, dang it. Anyway, now Rendus has taken care of those foes in style. We have access to a brand new upgrade. We have the Command Visor. This is a brand new upgrade for Metroid Prime 3 that allows us to directly control our ship.
Data received.
So we do that and the ship will fly from its previous location all the way over here, conveniently creating ourselves a new save point. And by flying our ship here, we activate the door and open through to the generator access. And that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. We've been going for well over 30 hours now, and I think you're probably a bit sick of my voice by now, so unless you're watching this on binge watching, in that case, go ahead. But for now, let's finish this episode, and the next episode we're going to go ahead and get Generator A back online. See you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.